AssessPrep is an AI-powered assessment platform that lets you author, deliver, and grade really, really well with AI infused into everything. We support 600 plus curricula that are international assessment curricula across the board, whether it's IBDP, MYP, US state standards, international curricula in the Singapore, Middle East, anywhere. So you can use AssessPrep to do assessments for any subject, any curriculum. You can use AI to author questions quickly, deliver on paper or online, and also grade with AI. And we also have common assessments. So if you're a district, you can do the assessments, author assessment at the central level and deliver them across hundreds of schools and see everything together, aggregated at the district level. You can also plan interventions. So when students are, you can find out what they're weak at and plan interventions where the AI tutor will help them learn from their weaknesses and help them get better.
So how can we change assessments from assessments of learning to assessments for learning and help teachers do that?
So as we saw with this prep, I think one of the major differences that schools and teachers have given us feedback on is that our product is very, very easy to use compared to all the other existing ones. They have too many things and they're too complicated. And as I mentioned, with our AI assistant, it eases and saves time across a bunch of different steps that really teachers need help with. So the first is authoring itself, and as I mentioned, you can choose the right context, whether it's curriculum, standards, difficulty levels, and generate very high quality questions and mark schemes and solutions around your assessment.
Schools are needing a lot of help right now. It's never been harder to be a teacher or an admin watching over kids while they're using devices in their class, especially when you've got a room full of 30 kids who are all on Chromebooks trying to go do anything different than your history lesson. We help make sure that one, kids aren't getting to negative sites, and two, that they're like staying in a lane where they're the most like they have the best chance at staying educated or being educated using the device that they've got and like having human interactions with the teacher, and the technology just sort of supports that.
I'm Dana Tribby. I'm the Executive Director of the BBC Learning Hub. It is a new website launched by BBC Studios for teachers and students worldwide. It only launched 2 days ago. It's brand new and shiny, and we're excited to share it this year at ISTE. It's built on the BBC library of amazing content, which includes all of the nature content, like the frozen planets and the walking with dinosaurs, and then the BBC News. We have a whole news section that is curated for a student audience, and then also BBC Magazine content. We have all kinds of articles that are leveled for students, and then we also have a kids section. So we have all kinds of learning materials around our children's shows as well. And so that's where we're building from, but all of the learning and teaching content is written by teachers to accompany it. We opened with a video library of 1,500 clips, each one with learning materials that go with it, discussion questions, activities, vocab, downloadable resources, printables. Teachers and parents and students can build playlists, they can save content. And then we're going to continue to build it out. We're launching virtual field trips. We have a Walking with Dinosaurs virtual field trip coming out next month. So we're very excited about it.
At Blooms, what we do is somewhat related to the problems that you're talking about. Just like you said, there's so many apps, like 3,000 apps out there. I mean, you go to any district, just for, of course, we focus on the parent communication.
Yeah.
Now, you just look at the lay of the land. Every district out there, typically, I mean, unless they've already gone through the transformation of unifying, they're looking at 5, 7, 12, even sometimes more apps. Just, every teacher uses a different app, and there's free apps, there is paid apps, there is, school uses one thing, and a sports team uses another one, then there is district uses another one, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
So now 21st century, got to do things differently. So now the number one is we unify. Well, there's 4 problems that we kind of talk with lots of districts, We've been in the industry for like 12 years now. We
Yeah.
started as a free app for teachers to now a most unifying communication platform for an entire district now. So there was a lot of learning that we kind of took from the grassroots level up, as well as we matured our levels to the higher personas, like a school level, district level. So now we've heard of the four fundamental needs. One is the unification.
Right.
But the next one is that this we heard from, specifically engaging the families, right?
Yeah.
We have a district, Round Rock, not far from
Yeah.
here.
Right. Right. North of Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have 97 languages spoken by their families. 97.
Wow. Almost as many as Salt Lake, who told me they have 128.
Then,
It's like either way, it's ridiculous.
ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
So now imagine how can a district ever be staffed to support that many languages?
Yeah, it's
No
ridiculous.
way.
You can't.
So this is
You
where
can't.
technology has to come a major play.
Yeah.
Now, the number one reason why all these ESL families,
Yeah.
they don't even get onto any of the apps, school apps, is because the apps don't speak their language. Most of the others thought that, what, we'll just translate the messages and send it, and that's all. Okay, check. But that's not check.
Right.
It's like, okay, you're just like doing something, but
Yeah.
you're not really solving the problem.
Yes.
So what we have done is we've done something fundamentally transformative, is what we call immersive translation.
Ah.
So that's a new coin. The
Immersive.
word immersive translation.
Okay.
Think about that word. We specifically put that word immersive because if you go to an app, maybe I'll just kind of make you an experience. This is
Yeah.
what competition does. What the competition does, if you see here, something along these lines, which is, okay, the content inside the app, certain pieces
Yeah.
are translated. But if I have to now, let's say, use this app and then I have to change my password or whatnot, then I have to go in here, and then settings. Now I have to figure out. I mean, if I'm Arabic speaking,
Yeah. You
how
can't
will
even
I know? Like
understand.
what?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I won't get onto it.
Yeah.
But now let's see what I'm going to show you. So I'm going to say, okay, I'm Arabic. By the way, you don't even have to come to the screen. The district would have set your language as part of
Yeah.
the import.
It should.
So and then I come here, and then now I'm going to see that, first of all, you see, I don't know if you can still see it.
Yeah.
First of all, it was left to right. It's completely transformed into right to left.
Oh, smart, like Chinese.
Yeah, in this case, it's Arabic or many of these languages,
Yeah.
right? And so you see that menus changes that, and then every button now speaks
Yeah.
my language,
Awesome.
right? And we do this for 250 languages. And that's a big deal because now it's we call immersive translation. So people can feel natively comfortable to get onto apps like this. And that's something that we, in the last 12 months, we completely re-architected our platform to support that.
So, do you feel like maybe what's needed in education is something like this app as a front end to a lot of other systems too? So, sort of like the one ring to rule them all. Does that make
I mean,
sense?
that's the vision that we have, is that, this,
Yay.
when it comes to, one of the things that I didn't even mention,
Yeah.
that we're again using this new technology and AI, is that, see, there are websites,
Right.
there's a lot of documents being thrown around by the teachers and everybody, but then parents don't have an instant way to get answers because either these documents are outdated or I just can't get to them easily.
Right. Right.
So again, what we do in Blooms is that we have this back end of knowledge management problem, which is like making sure that the most recent resources,
Right.
and they're vetted, they're maybe
Yeah.
moderated and so on. That's one problem. But then how do we make it extremely easy and intuitive? This is where Chat GPT like interfaces have made it easy.
Right.
So we just put like a chat interface to this whole thing. And
Okay.
now, this both sides of the problem. One is on the staff side.
Yeah.
We have literally like 15 different tools.
Okay.
Okay. But then if I have to learn even though every tool, it requires some learning curve for me.
Yeah.
But whereas with the Chat GPT kind of interface, we just are able to simply chat, and then now the system is going to have conversation with me. Yeah, I want to create a post. I want to create a poll. I want to send a parent-teacher conference. I want to schedule this, volunteer request. Whatever may be the way in which you are engaging. So all of that can be just chatted away.
I'm here with Vicki from PBL Works, and we're wondering, Vicki, with all the crisis in education today, the absenteeism, we've got kids leaving schools, you've got the teacher shortage. What solution have you guys come up with to kind of combat or address these problems, and what success are you having with it?
You know, for more than 30 years, PBL Works has been helping teachers and leaders implement project-based learning in schools and helping teachers create projects to keep students engaged. What we've found in those 30 years is that it's really hard for teachers to build those projects and implement them with fidelity. And it's hard for leaders to know if those projects are being assessed, students are being assessed the same across every classroom. So we took our 30 years of expertise in this particular area and put it all into one product called PBL Works Teach, and put 24 expertly crafted projects into a web-based application that allows teachers to have access to everything they need to implement project-based learning beginning tomorrow if they wanted to, and gives leaders the ability to feel confident that their teachers have what they need to do that, and to assess students on individual portions of that project as well as group portions of that project, and know that it's not just something magic in the air, but real assessment, including rubrics and materials that students have from the get-go. So we've heard from teachers that whether they're new to project-based learning or they're veteran project-based learning teachers, that this tool is helping educators with their confidence in the classroom. And we've heard from educators across many years that it is helping with student engagement in the classroom, as well as hearing from leaders that it's helping with teacher retention. So I feel like this product is helping to address some of the tougher problems that we're seeing in the education market today.
That's great, Vicki. Thanks.
Hi, John. This
Hi.
is John Marshall, CEO of Brain Freeze. We're going to have a really great conversation real quickly here. All right. So, John, talk to me. What is new here at ISTE for you guys?
Well, what's new for us is explosion of people getting past the trial stage of AI and really thinking now about how they incorporate it into their classroom, how it becomes part of their DNA and not just sort of a testing scenario.
Okay. And what do you mean by that? Like, tell me more about what that means for your company.
You know, I think a lot of times, well, let's just start in general. I think a lot of people started with AI and they went through the process of essentially, learning about an agent or learning about an LLM and trying to figure out what that means for them.
Right.
And then they found one or two use cases,
Right.
and then they said, well, wow, this is actually pretty cool. And so we see this pattern where people go through I'm a little bit afraid of it. Okay, now I'm going to test it for one simple use case, or I'm going to use it personally and then migrate that to the classroom.
Right.
And then it becomes 2 or 3. When somebody graduates past using sort of 5 different use cases,
Right.
we see an explosion.
Right.
And then after that explosion, then they want more, because then they realize the power is not just a simple chat bot. It's
Right.
really combining all their classroom information, their rostering, their student information, all the deep kind of core information of their curriculum, what's unique to their class, maybe the projects they're working on. Once they bring all that together into the context of AI, they get the real benefit. And that's what Brain Freeze is all about. So we're not simply just prompts on top of an LLM. We're actually built as a true enterprise orchestration platform. So parent company is an enterprise orchestration company, and I created Brain Freeze to solve the problem specifically in education, because I didn't really see anybody that was really doing this at the level we were, where you can go build agents, you can connect to all your infrastructure, you can link all this information together, you can do it very seamlessly, and you can have all the security, the guardrails, the data protection around it. So that's really our DNA, what we're all about.
Okay, that was said very fast for people who may not have followed that. Let me just break it down for them.
Yes, please.
You are first stage Omni AI is what Brain Freeze is. You're able to bring together what is the horrible spaghetti pile of too many apps.
Yes.
Without a mind mechanism governing all those apps and making it all work together, which is more than just hooking them up to integrate your stupid rosters.
Exactly.
Okay, did I just use the word stupid on live camera?
I don't think
It's
so.
totally okay. All right, so it's not as bad as like ignorant. Okay, but it's like, okay, John, this is exciting. I'm just telling you, you just made my whole conference.
That's amazing.
Because I found an Omni AI to defend and build this whole thing that is the spaghetti pile.
Yeah.
To make it all make sense.
Yeah.
And you're already technically
Oh yeah, for sure.
doing the first levels of Omni AI.
Yeah. I mean, the core company, we have literally hundreds and hundreds of tool connectors and data sources. So if you think about enterprise, and the reason I'm saying this is because schools are graduating into the same level of capability, you need to connect all the data and you need to do it seamlessly. And you need to connect agents together, because the first step is, okay, I want to go grade a test. Okay, that's nice. But then what if you could actually make an assignment based on student information system, LMS? So it's your curriculum, you know what the hobbies or maybe the after school activities of the student.
Yeah.
So if you create a lesson plan or reading comprehension based on, Tommy likes football, he's in 5th grade, and I know that he needs additional practice on reading comprehension, and you can make a reading test and quizzes and open-ended stuff, and then you can actually give him the assignment for homework, and he could turn it in, grade it, and then you could store that back in your LMS or whatever. That is not far-fetched. That is exactly where we will be a year from now, and we can do that today.
This is exciting. I would suggest that anybody watching this video right now, if you're watching this as a post story from Learning Council, that you get in contact with you, because the first stage is probably them actually getting a little bit of a script from you for what they need to do internally to prepare to actually purchase at scale and implement, right? Obviously, they would need to inventory everything they already have in place, right?
Yeah, but I think people organically grow into it. So we made this free for teachers or individuals, homeschool, everything, and then we made it 50 cents a month for anybody, because it needs to be accessible, number one, and most people grow into it. So you're not going to start with adopting and integrating 50 different platforms or technologies. You're going to start with integrating one thing. I'll give you a great example. So we have one school that built, they tie their standard operating procedures, or maybe like, what do I do when there's a fire drill,
right?
Or how do I fix the water fountain? They're literally just linking into OneDrive or Google Drive for operational procedures, but it's a huge time saving. And one of the really, I see clever use cases all the time. One was, what's the bee sting protocol? There's kids out on the playground and somebody gets stung by a bee. The outliers, the few kids that walk around with an EpiPen, but there's a bunch of other kids that might be allergic to bees, and you don't really know what the protocol should be.
Right.
So if they get stung out on the baseball field and all of a sudden it becomes a crisis because you don't know what to do, versus, hey, can I access the health record? Tell me what to do? What's the protocol? Maybe can I call the parent right away? If all that information is there because you have a chat bot that's looking at a OneDrive, that's looking at health records, that's looking at something else, that's a game changer.
Yeah.
And it gives peace of mind for a teacher and for the parents and everybody. So these are things that make life much, much easier.
Yeah, I'm following you, because the other example that we just actually talked about in the first meeting for Omni AI was, and this actually came from AI, we queried, what is Omni AI going to do? Give me examples. At the administrative level, it's a similar example to what the one you just gave, which is, for some reason, Jeremy, who's a 9th grader, has been absent constantly, or arriving very late for 2.5 weeks.
Yep.
Coincidentally, because there's an Omni AI in place, it looked over at the student information system connected to the busing system and found out that Jeremy's younger brother, the busing for him didn't pick up. It goes in a different direction than the older brother's bus, which picks up a little later.
Yep.
Or a little about the same time. So the little kid would be no bus for him.
Yep.
So the older brother would never leave him.
Yeah, he's
so that meant he had to run to school because he would miss his bus.
Yep.
Which he sometimes did, and sometimes he just felt too lazy to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he refused to leave his little brother, because the bus was always late for the little brother.
And you don't want to punish the older child for being a good brother.
Exactly. So if you knew this, you could solve it so you didn't have that lost seat time of the older brother by fixing your stupid busing system.
Yeah.
Did I just say stupid again?
You did.
I am on a roll.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, John, what do my readers need to know? What do they need to do first with you guys, just to even understand this?
Well, I think it's all starting simple. So I think using the free solution to just start using agents, or assistants as we call them, which is very similar to what you're going to find on lots of the other platforms. But I think you kind of
Hold up right there.
Yep.
Just let me say something before
Sure.
you say this.
Yeah.
Okay. If I'm a person using AI right now and I've done a paid for, main
Yep.
large language model, the big companies that
Yep.
are out there now,
Yep.
I can build my own agents. Why am I talking to you, John? So it is because those are not going to connect to the other systems in your school.
It's the tentacles.
Yes.
It's the richness of your own content. So we have schools that, of course, many schools just have the common core, but there are a lot of schools that have their own methodology. Maybe they're very project-based learning. Maybe they're associated with a religion or not a religion or some sort of international baccalaureate or those types of things. Schools want to incorporate their own mission, their own testing, or their own curriculum in there. That's only one part of it. The other part really is all these different tentacles into the student information system, the rostering, after-school programs, parent coordination. So I think it's when somebody says, "Hey, we're using one of the big guys, and we've made a lot of progress," I don't see that as somebody I shouldn't talk to. I see that as somebody I should talk to.
Because they're going to level up.
And yeah, they want to keep going. Why would you want to stop?
I'm just giving them the caution on this video.
Yeah.
Don't think that's the end game.
It's not the end game.
It's not the end game because you're missing the elements of all the other stuff, right? Which is what you're doing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now you can.
Just wanted to say that.
Yeah, the other part though is you don't have to go through. Look, I think what's really interesting here is it's very dynamic. The ground is moving so quickly. So, I think one of the other advantages of working with somebody where we connect into hundreds of different models from all the different providers. So we're able to always adjust our back end to the latest model, the best model, the lowest cost model. So that's transparent to the end user.
And we're not talking about single sign-on. We're not talking about username password hookup, right, into that.
Yeah.
You're talking about data sharing models.
Yes, it's completely transparent to the end user because we could tie into today, the best Gemini, the best Perplexity, the best, you name it. If they're in the Middle East or if they're an international school, maybe they're using J or Falcon in Dubai, or maybe they're using something else in India or whatever, or maybe they have kids that have a second language that they're worried about studying. So there's so many things where using multiple models becomes really important, having the flexibility to use the best model. The new video models that came out 2 weeks ago are insane. You can create production level commercials in a few minutes for the price of a cup of coffee. It's moving so quickly that level of flexibility is really important, and we can help provide that.
I love it. Thank you very much. This has been very enlightening.
For sure.
Okay.